Ever wondered how to get what you want, even in the trickiest of situations? Well, you're in luck, because today's video is all about mastering negotiation skills with the insights of none other than ex-FBI negotiator, Chris Voss. Whether you're haggling over a car price or sealing a multi-million-dollar deal, understanding the art of negotiation is key to success in every aspect of life. Curious how to crack the negotiation code and walk away with the best deals? Stick around, because we're about to dive deep into Chris Voss's playbook, uncovering strategies that'll have you negotiating like a pro in no time. From the power of emotional intelligence to the art of active listening and the strategic prowess of the Ackerman model, we'll cover it all. So, buckle up and get ready to discover the secrets behind getting what you want, straight from the master himself. And hey, if you're enjoying the insights so far, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more negotiation gems. Ready to unlock the power of persuasion? Let's jump right in. First, let's dive into the core of negotiation success, emotional intelligence, or EQ for short. Now, before you start thinking this is some fancy term from a psychology textbook, let me break it down for you in plain and simple language. Picture this. Negotiations are like a roller coaster ride with twists and turns that can leave your stomach in knots. And what's steering this roller coaster? Emotions? Yep, those feelings bubbling up inside you like a pot of boiling water. But here's the kicker. Emotions aren't just along for the ride. They're driving the whole darn thing. Think about it like this. Have you ever bought something on impulse because it made you feel all warm and fuzzy inside? Or maybe you've walked away from a deal because something just didn't sit right with you, even though it seemed like a good offer on paper. That's emotions calling the shots. Now, here's where EQ comes into play. It's like having a secret decoder ring for understanding and managing those emotions. It's not about squashing them down or pretending they don't exist. No, it's about recognizing them, acknowledging them, and then deciding how to respond. Imagine you're in the middle of a negotiation and the other party starts getting all heated. Instead of getting swept up in their emotions like a leaf in a gust of wind, you take a step back and think, looks like they're feeling pretty passionate about this. That's EQ in action, my friends. And here's the beauty of it. When you're in control of your own emotions, you're better equipped to handle whatever curveballs the negotiation throws your way. It's like having a superpower that helps you stay cool, calm, and collected, no matter what. So as you embark on your negotiation journey, remember this. EQ isn't just for psychologists and therapists. It's for everyday folks like you and me who want to level up their negotiation game. Now let's talk about active listening. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Listening? That's easy. But hold on, we're not just talking about hearing words. Active listening is like diving beneath the surface of what someone is saying to understand what they really want. Imagine you're at a party chatting with a friend. They start talking about how they're tired of their job. Sure, you could nod along and say, "That sucks." But active listening is about digging deeper. Maybe they mention feeling unappreciated by their boss. Aha, there's the gold nugget. It's not just about hating the job, it's about craving recognition and respect. Now, let's bring this back to negotiation. When you're sitting across the table from someone, it's not just about them stating their demands. It's about reading between the lines, picking up on those subtle cues that reveal what they truly desire. Maybe they mention their budget concerns, but underneath that, there might be a fear of making a wrong decision, or a desire for something that adds value beyond just the price tag. Think of active listening as putting on your detective hat. You're searching for clues, piecing together the puzzle of their needs and desires. And here's the kicker. When you show that you truly understand what they want, it builds trust like nothing else. It's like saying, "Hey, I see you. I hear you. And I'm here to help you get what you need." So, next time you're in a negotiation, don't just listen passively. Listen actively. Tune in to the subtle nuances of what they're saying, and you'll uncover a treasure trove of insights that can guide you towards a win-win outcome. Trust me, it's not just about hearing. It's about truly understanding. Now let's talk about a sneaky little trick that can turn the tides in your favor during negotiations: mirroring and labeling. Sounds fancy, right? But it's actually pretty simple stuff that can make a huge difference. Imagine you're chatting with someone and they start using similar words or phrases as you. It's like they're echoing your thoughts. That's mirroring. It's a way of building a connection without even saying much. You're basically saying, "Hey, I'm on the same page as you." And then there's labeling. This is where you put a name to what the other person is feeling. Like if they seem a bit frustrated, you might say, "Hey, it seems like you're feeling a bit frustrated about this." It's like you're shining a light on their emotions, showing them that you get where they're coming from. Now, why does this matter in negotiations? Well, think about it. When someone feels understood, they're more likely to open up. And when they open up, they're more likely to work with you to find a solution. It's like you're creating a safe space for them to express themselves. But here's the kicker. You've got to be genuine about it. People can smell fakeness from a mile away. So don't just parrot back what they're saying without really meaning it. Put yourself in their shoes, empathize with their feelings, and then mirror or label accordingly. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you're negotiating with a client who seems a bit hesitant about the price. Instead of just bulldozing ahead with your pitch, try mirroring their concern. Say something like, "I hear you're worried about the cost." That's totally understandable. See what happens. Chances are they'll feel heard and be more willing to engage in the conversation. So, next time you're in a negotiation, remember the power of mirroring and labeling. It's not about manipulation, it's about building rapport and fostering openness. And hey, who knows, it might just be the secret sauce that seals the deal. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. Next up, reframing fairness. Aim for value, not just equality. All right, let's dive into the idea of fairness in negotiations. When we think of fairness, we often picture splitting things right down the middle. But in the world of negotiation, especially when you're learning how to get what you want, the concept of fairness can be quite different. Ex-FBI negotiator Chris Voss has a unique take on this. Instead of aiming for an equal split, focus on what's valuable to you. Think about it like trading baseball cards as a kid. You wouldn't trade your rare card for just any card. You'd trade it for one that you really wanted, or one that had high value to you. This is the same in negotiations. It's not about making sure everyone gets the same size piece of the pie, but rather ensuring you get the piece that means the most to you. So how do you do this? Start by understanding what you truly need from the negotiation. What are your non-negotiables? What are the things that would be nice to have, but aren't deal breakers? Once you're clear on these, you can steer the conversation towards these points. For instance, say you're negotiating a job offer. Instead of just focusing on the salary, think about other benefits that might be valuable to you. Maybe you value flexible working hours or the option to work from home. By focusing on these aspects, you can craft a deal that's more tailored to your needs and not just an equal split. Chris Voss, with his vast experience, teaches that aiming for value over equality often leads to better outcomes. It's about finding a solution where both parties feel they're walking away with something worthwhile. Imagine negotiating a salary where you both agree on a lower base pay, but with significant performance bonuses. This way, the employer feels they're getting value, and so do you. So, the key to mastering how to get what you want lies in this approach. By reframing fairness and aiming for value, you're not just settling for an equal share, you're securing what's most important to you. Now let's talk about a tiny but mighty word, no. It's like a superhero in negotiations. Picture this, you're at a bargaining table, and the other party throws out an offer that just doesn't sit right with you. Instead of caving in or hesitating, you confidently say, no. It's not just a refusal, it's a statement of power. Now, why is no so important? Well, think of it as your shield in negotiation battles. It protects your interests and gives you the upper hand. When you're not afraid to say no, you're showing the other side that you're not desperate or willing to settle for less than what you deserve. But here's the kicker. Saying no isn't just about shutting down offers. It's about opening doors to better opportunities. When you're willing to walk away from a bad deal, you're signaling to the other party that they need to up their game if they want to keep you at the table. It's like setting the bar high and challenging them to meet it. Now let's talk about the art of walking away. It's not about storming off in a huff or burning bridges. It's about gracefully exiting a negotiation that's not going your way. Think of it as a strategic retreat rather than a defeat. When you walk away with dignity and confidence, you leave the door open for future negotiations on better terms. So how do you say no without burning bridges? It's all about tone and timing. You want to be firm but respectful, assertive but not aggressive. Think of it as delivering a polite but firm "no, thank you" with a smile. It's like gracefully declining a slice of cake at a party without offending the host. Remember, the power of no is not just in the word itself, but in how you wield it. So don't be afraid to harness its power and walk away from deals that don't serve your best interests. Trust me, it's a game changer in the world of negotiation. All right, let's dive into one of the most effective strategies out there, the Ackerman model. Imagine having a clear roadmap for negotiations. This is exactly what the Ackerman model provides. It's a structured, step-by-step approach to get you to your goal. Here's how it works. First, you need to set your target price. This is your ideal outcome, the best deal you want to achieve. Think of it as your end game. Now, from this target price, you calculate your first offer. Your first offer should be aggressively low, aim for about 65% of your target price. This might sound bold, but it gives you room to maneuver. Next, you make your offer and expect a counteroffer. This is where the fun begins. You respond with a calculated increase. Instead of making random jumps, you use specific increments. For example, your second offer should be at 85% of your target price. By doing this, you're showing flexibility while still inching towards your goal. Now let's break it down further. Your third offer moves up to 95% of your target price. At this point, you're almost there. The key is to keep the increments small and precise. It's all about psychological pressure. The other party sees you're willing to move, but just a little bit each time, making them feel like they're inching closer to a deal. Finally, you reach your target price. This is your last offer, and you communicate it firmly but politely. If done correctly, the other party will feel like they've negotiated well, while you've secured the deal you wanted. Remember, the Ackerman model is all about structure and precision. It's not about haggling randomly, but about moving strategically. Chris Voss, the ex-FBI negotiator, swears by it. In his book, How to Get What You Want, he explains how this model helped him in high-stakes negotiations. By breaking down each step, you can see how to get what you want in a structured and predictable way. Now let's talk about building relationships for long-term wins. You see, negotiations aren't just about closing a single deal. They're about creating opportunities for the future. Think of it like planting a tree. You don't just plant it for today's shade, you plant it for the future. So how do you build these long-term relationships? Start with genuine interest. Show the other person that you care about their needs and goals, not just your own. It's like being a good friend. You wouldn't only call your friend when you need something, right? You check in, you listen, you support them. Do the same in negotiations. Next, be honest and transparent. This doesn't mean you have to lay all your cards on the table, but honesty builds trust. If something isn't working for you, say it. It's better to be upfront than to agree to something you can't follow through on. Think of it as setting clear boundaries in a friendship. It helps prevent misunderstandings and builds a stronger bond. Another key point is consistency. Be reliable. If you say you'll do something, do it. It's like keeping promises in any relationship. When people know they can count on you, they're more likely to want to work with you again. This reliability turns one-time deals into ongoing partnerships. Also, don't forget to show appreciation. A simple thank you can go a long way. It's like watering that tree you planted. Regular appreciation helps it grow. When someone feels valued, they're more likely to come back to the table with you. Lastly, keep in touch. Even after a deal is done, maintain the relationship. It's not just about business. It's about building a network of trust and respect. Send a follow-up email, check in on how things are going, or just say hello. These small gestures keep the relationship warm and ready for future opportunities. All right, let's talk about preparation. This is the bedrock of successful negotiation. Think of it like preparing for a big exam. You wouldn't walk in without studying, right? The same goes for negotiations. First things first, do your homework. You need to gather as much information as possible about what you're negotiating for. Whether it's a salary increase, buying a house, or even haggling at a flea market, knowing the market value is crucial. Check out websites, read reviews, and talk to people who've been in similar situations. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, your target numbers. These are your benchmarks. What's your ideal outcome? What's your fallback position? And where's your absolute limit? Knowing these numbers gives you a clear framework to work within. It's like having a GPS for your negotiation journey. You know where you're starting, where you'd like to end up, and all the possible routes in between. But it's not just about the numbers. Understand the context and the people involved. Who are you negotiating with? What's their background? What are their interests and constraints? The more you know about the other party, the better you can tailor your approach. Another key element is anticipating objections. Think about the counter-arguments they might present. If you're prepared for these, you can respond confidently and keep the conversation moving forward. It's like being a chess player, always thinking a few moves ahead. Finally, practice makes perfect. Role-play the negotiation with a friend or in front of a mirror. This helps you refine your strategy and get comfortable with your talking points. So remember, preparation isn't just about crunching numbers, it's about gathering intel, understanding your counterpart, and being ready for anything. With solid prep, you'll walk into any negotiation room with confidence and poise. And there you have it, guys. These tips from ex-FBI negotiator Chris Voss on how to get what you want will transform your negotiation skills. Remember, it's all about emotional intelligence, active listening, and being prepared. Use these strategies to get what you want in any negotiation. Now, if you found this video helpful, I highly recommend watching my next video, which is the perfect complement to this one. Thank you for joining us today. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your engagement is like applause for our efforts, and it motivates us to bring even more valuable content your way. So feel free to drop a comment below. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in my next video.